Greetings, I'm Caffeine Rich, and welcome back to the Sunday Sampler. This week we're going to be taking a quick look at The Wolf's Bite. This is a choose-your-adventure competitive style, or as I would prefer to call it, a board game. You'll see why there's probably a little bit of conflicting things in the genre salad there. But this is a, well, technically self-published game by Ericmbernier, BitmOO or 00, Dave Cothram 76, that's their developers, and published by Ericmbernier. So that's why I was calling it technically self-published. There's a lot of names on the Steam page, and that may be my longest list for developers yet, which is usually not a good sign. But in this case, I think these are just the individuals that developed the game, and they wanted to all have their names individually there. So, it's not that big a worry. So, A Wolf's Bite. This is a, well, as they call it, a competitive choose-your-own-adventure game where it's the big bad wolf versus the three little pigs. The big bad wolf has failed in being a destructive character and trying to break into the, well, demolition industry, essentially. I mean, if you want to break down the three little pigs, I mean, I guess I could see that. Giving away the free samples, though, doesn't help his business. Anyway, he decides to go into the restauranting business, and the three little pigs, unhappy that, they've been the recipients of said free samples of demolition, decides to wreck his restaurant as an act of revenge. Before we really get into this, I do want to talk about a little bit about the art style, particularly on this screen instead of waiting until we're further in the game, because, well, this is a visual medium. You may have noticed that the sign up here, particularly if you're watching this in the full 1080p resolution, has a lot of jaggies on it. It doesn't make it look very pretty. And particularly with this art style, a little bit of anti-aliasing goes a very, very long way. And this is just, it's a nitpick about the art style, but it's something that is literally in the middle of the screen on the title screen. So it's a little hard to ignore. So let's just dive right into things. So hit play. This is local competitive only, unfortunately. I mean, I understand it being a very cheap game and a very short game, not having online play, but at the same time, I couldn't have showed that anyway if it was online, so it doesn't really matter all that much. That said, it feels like it's focused towards children anyway, so I'd imagine, it would be, just the parent and child playing on the computer together. So one player, and you get to play either side. The big bad wolf who's been reformed and has 1 cup of snark, half a teaspoon of brawl, or half a spoon of brawl, and 3 ounces of foolishness versus the 3 little pigs, 3 cups of quick wit, 10 ounces of stubbornness, and 8.5 cups of grudge. We'll go ahead and have the big bad wolf. And here's our, really all the backstory you need. After failing to thrive in the highly competitive residential demolition industry due to difficulties with brick construction, the big bad wolf decided it was time for a career change. Unable to resist the lure of entrepreneurship, he decided to enter the restaurant business. The 3 little pigs, dissatisfied with their free samples of demolitions, are conspiring against the big bad wolf in his new restaurant, The Wolf's Bite, hence the title of the game. And it may be a little tough to find this on YouTube actually, because The Wolf's Bite kind of mixes into things, doesn't it? The whole village turned out for the grand opening. Will the big bad wolf finally launch a successful career, or will the 3 little pigs throw up a metaphorical brick wall and stop them? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Oh, sorry. And this is where all the gameplay takes place. And you can see why I called this a board game. And the art style, it definitely feels like it's aimed towards children. Not in a bad way, not a, cutesy, adults want to enjoy this, but the gameplay tends to be about 10 to 15 minutes. It takes over the course of 1 week. So from day 1 to day 7, you have 7 actions to perform. Meanwhile, the 3 little pigs also have 7 actions to perform, and they act as a single group. So, like I said, it's very simple, and it has a lot of randomness in it. So, well, for example, the Steam achievements show that there's 10 fortunes for the 3 little pigs. So, and every time you show up, something different happens. And in that, there's a lot of randomness. There's a lot of the choose your own adventure style. We'll go ahead and do the first turn in just a moment. But also there's a chance of things becoming repetitive, doing the same things over and over and over again, and eventually seeing all the events. The game store page claims a bit over 300 different paths, but that's throwing in a lot of randomness and probably a lot of, go to City Hall the first gameplay, first turn. The next time, go to the grocery store, and just branching out from there. But I'm not sure how they calculate that per se, or if that's the total number of events overall from all of these different places. So let's just go ahead and do a couple turns and we'll kind of wrap things up, because there's not a lot to say about this game, to be perfectly honest. So let's just go to the lake. And let's go fishing. Each of these usually has, I think they all have 2 choices. And then one of the choices usually has 2 to 3 options. Yeah, these all have 2 choices, at least for now. It may change. There is hints that there may be special events in the Steam achievements. I've only played this for an hour and some change. I've gone through about 5 or 6 times. So I will say that I haven't gone enough to be able to hit all the side stuff. But then again, this is a first impressions and not a full review, even though technically I could do a review of this if I spent a little bit more time with it, but that's not the way things are going. So let's go fishing. Seafood is very fashionable these days. Serving fresh, wild-caught fish will diversify your menu offerings, expand the appeal of your restaurant. You caught a bunch of big ones, this will feed a lot of patrons. The Wolf's Bite gains 1 quality. Oh no, I didn't even highlight what we should be doing here. A beautiful mermaid appears in the lake. Frightened yet curious. She swims up to you apprehensively. I've never seen a wolf before, she says. I've never met a mermaid before, you reply. You both inch towards each other, curiously dominating fear. Pausing at roughly an arm's length, what's your next move? Discuss underwater life, discuss life on land, or try to capture her. Let's discuss underwater life. Being a chef who deals with seafood, you inquire about the mysteries of underwater creatures. A mermaid, being a denizen of the deep, is well versed in the details of such creatures. You spend hours discussing fish and crustaceans. She teaches you intricacies and quirks, adding subtle yet sophisticated enhancement to your preparation of these intriguing creatures. The wolf bite gains 3 quality. And then the 3 little pigs, in this case the AI takes their turn. And you can see them go around, see their options. Oh, they're going hiking at the lake. Hopefully this doesn't cause problems for us. Being more in shape will make it easier to do damage to the restaurant. Hiking by the lake is great exercise with a great view, which made it particularly invigorating. This training shall allow you to do more sabotage more quickly. The wolf's bite loses 1 quality. While standing on the shore, you notice a bottle with some paper in it, bobbing up and down in the water not too far away. While not the best swimmer, Sergi is pretty sure he could get it. Should he? Now the computer takes its choice. Absolutely. Sergi retrieves the bottle easily enough and pulls the cork. The bottle is actually filled with bearer bonds. I thought these were just in movies. Who cares? Let's go redeem them. The pigs gain 2 wealth. And now the Daily Wolf. Famous food critic coming to town. Gus Fiore has caught wind of an intrigue, the intrigue surrounding the Wolf's Bite, and would like to feature it on his show. Restaurants, taverns, and bars. Will the episode be redeeming, or redemption, or revenge? Only time will tell. And now it's our turn again. And that's how a turn plays out. And we have reputation, which is how well we're liked in the town. Our overall money in this place, we got $10. But the wolf also has his restaurant, the Wolf's Bite. And the higher star rating, the more prestige it has. And these factors, including how the pigs are repped and their money, factors into what ending you get at the end of day 7. Because this is only 1 week of gameplay, or 1 week in game of gameplay, I should say. And that's really about it. It is a very cheap game, so it being very short, I think, doesn't hurt it all that much. It is only $7.99. I'm reviewing, or I shouldn't say review. This isn't a review. This isn't a review. This is my first impressions. And keep telling myself, hey, maybe someday that will come true. It being cheap, it does make it so that I don't think it hurts it all that much. But that said, it may be, people pick it up, play it for a bit, and refund it, which is a danger of having such a short game on Steam. And so that I wouldn't like to see the developers be hammered with. But that's, that's kind of the nature of Steam these days, to be perfectly honest. So I think that actually wraps us up at about the 10-minute mark. How about that? I'm not going to do too much more of this because you don't need to hear me stumble over words and phrases and, language. But anyway, as always, constructive feedback is greatly appreciated, either in the comments below, or if you don't really have anything to say but want to let me know that you've enjoyed or hated this, hit the appropriate buttons and subscribe if you wish to see more of the Sunday Sampler, or my other Let's Play content, or who knows what else may show up on this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you with more of the Sunday Sampler next time, as, let's go to the culinary restaurant as a little bit of an aside.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll see you next time.